Hey guys, John Man here with my Crystal Beast deck, Revamped and Revisited. I'll explain one thing about what Crystal Beasts do real quick, is that if at any point they're destroyed while face up, except for Bottomless Trap Hole, I'll explain that later, is if they're at any point they're destroyed while face up in the monster card zone, battle or card effect, you can send them to the back row and treat them as a continuous spell card instead of sending them to the graveyard. So just want to get that out of the way. It's kind of like their own way, kind of like how Gladiator Beast go in and out of the deck. Well, this is kind of like how Crystal Beasts do their thing. So get on with the monsters. 2, Crystal Beast Ruby Carbuncle. When this card is special summoned, you can special summon as many Crystal Beasts from your back row, and any way you can summon her, you get that effect. Graveyard, deck, hand, whatever, as long as you can do it, you get her effect. So if you have 3 Crystal Beasts in your back row, you summon her, you summon as many Crystal Beasts from your back row as possible, of course depending on how many monsters you already have in the monster card zone. So yeah, really great. And run 2, not 3. 3 is a little bit too much, unless if you're going with purebred Crystal Beast, but otherwise really great. Not 1, just run 2. Crystal Beast Emerald Tortoise. Once per turn you can change one of your monsters that already is attacked this turn and change it to defense position. So sometimes you can poke for 600 with this guy if they have an open field, and then change him to defense for 2000 defense. So very nice. 2, Crystal Beast Amethyst Cat. This card can attack your opponent directly. When it does so, using this effect, you can inflict half the battle damage it normally, or have the attack that this otherwise would inflict. So when she attacks directly, she has 1200 originally. So when you do that, when you attack directly with her, she only does 600 instead. But if her current attack is changed, then she'll go by her current attack. So if she has 2000, she'll do a 1000 instead. That's of course if you're using her direct attack effect. Well, if she's doing a direct attack while there are no monsters on the field, she'll do 1200. But otherwise you can just bypass your opponent's monsters to do 600. 1, Cobalt Eagle, Crystal Beast Cobalt Eagle. Once per turn you can return one face-up Crystal Beast card, so that can be back row or monster. You control it to the top of the owner's deck, so you can really use this guy on Sapphire, Pegasus, or something you may want to like draw maybe, or whatever, so really nice. There's so many ways you can use it sometimes. 2, Crystal Beast Topaz Tiger. If this guy attacks a monster, he has 1600 attack already. If he attacks a monster, only a monster, he gains 400 attack during a damage step only. So if he attacks like Stratos, he'll run over him with 200. Or let's say you attack a super nimble Mega Hamster, he'll get by it. So many reasons why you should run him at 2 at least. You can run him at 3, but I don't like it sometimes because then you draw it, you don't really need it sometimes. So otherwise he's just 1600. And I want to explain something about Bottomless Trap Hole real quick. If you summon this guy and they have Bottomless Trap Hole, you cannot activate his effect to send him to the back row even though it says destroy. There's a certain timing zone in there where he's not completely summoned yet when you play Bottomless. Just for some reason there is. But if you have Rainbow Ruins on the field and you have 3 Crystal Beasts in your back row, you can send him immediately to negate Bottomless Trap Hole though, because he does count as a monster at that time, a Rainbow Ruin to activate. So you can get by it that way. 2, Crystal Beast Ember Mammoth. When the face of Crystal Beast monster you control is attacked, you can change the target to him. So very nice. He has 17 attack and 1600 defense. 3, Crystal Beast Sapphire Pegasus. Finish up the Crystal Beast lineup. When this guy is summoned, this is the reason why you run 3 of him, is when he is summoned, you can take 1 Crystal Beast from your hand, deck, or graveyard and put it in your back row as a continuous spell card. Really great. And any way he's summoned, even if Ruby Carbuncle, you get his effect. Now for 2 Rainbow Dragons. People are always upset about this card because you couldn't never play it, they thought. You can play this. You don't need 7 Crystal Beasts with different names directly on the field or in the graveyard at the same time. They can be even combined. So what his effects is, this card cannot be normal summoned or set. This card cannot be special summoned except by having 7 Crystal Beasts with different names in the field, or sorry, in the graveyard or on the field. And says or, so that means you can have 5 with different names on the field and 2 with different names in the graveyard. Of course, as long as you have the right 7. You don't need one of each, you don't need one of each on the field either. Just know that. You can still play this with even them in the graveyard or in the field, or both. Go to Yu-Gi-Oh! Wikia, search it, and read the rulings. Now for the support monsters, 1 Morphing Jar adds an extra 5 cards to your hand when you flip summon, so, and to your opponent as well, so really nice. And I should say draw, not add, sorry. Neo-Spacian Grand Mole, it's kind of hard for Crystal Beast to get past Synchro monsters, so this kind of bounces them back and helps, so, because you can't play too many traps. 2 Thunder Kings, another reason why you can, one reason you can run this guy is that you're only playing 1 card that adds a card from your deck to your hand, so you can get by his effect because you're only running 2 of him, and this really helps against, Blackwing matchups and stuff. So, but note that you can actually get around this guy every way except for just that 1 card. So, otherwise it gets rid of Synchro monsters, because that's the biggest problem, so, for this deck. 1 Dragon Queen of Tragic Endings. This card cannot be normal summoned or set. This card can only be special summoned by having 3 continuous spell cards on the field, face up. And the cool part is that this deck can meet that requirement. I'm not playing Haman, Lord of Strike and Thunder, because you have to send them from your back row. This just requires you to have them in the back row. And at any point after this guy is special, or she, I guess, she is sent from the field to the graveyard after she's properly summoned. Any point after during your next standby phase, or following, you can even wait 3 turns and you can special summon this from your graveyard by sending 1 from your back row to the graveyard. 1 continuous spell card, that is. So, way better than Haman in my case. And plus, she actually allows you to draw a card, but, search it up and you can read it. Tragodia, do not run Gores. You cannot afford to run Gores in this deck because it's just a dead card. And plus, Tragodia can pretty much at most any given time has 2400 attack, because you draw so much with this deck, and you keep a steady hand most of the time that you can run this guy. So, and this acts like your failure plan if anything, so Tragodia is your fail-safe idea. For spells, 1 Lightning Vortex, just because in case you can't get past any certain monster. 1 Crystal Release, equipped only to a Crystal Beast monster, gains 800 attack, and when this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can take 1 Crystal Beast from your deck and put it in your back row. 2 Rare Value, you can only activate this when you have 2 or more Crystal Beasts in your back row. Your opponent chooses 1 of them in their back row and sends it to the graveyard, and you get to draw 2 cards. So, really, really great. Don't run 3 because it kind of is a dead draw, and the problem is playing 3s that you sometimes don't have your 2 Crystal Beasts in your back row. 1 Crystal Promise, special summon 1 from your back row. Simple as that. 3 Crystal Beacon. This is your second main force of the deck, because if you have 2 or more in your back row, you can, Crystal Beast that is, you can special summon 1 from your deck. So that's why Ruby Carbuncle is very deadly, and that's why you need to run it at 2. 3 Crystal Abundance. Send 4 Crystal Beasts from your back row to the graveyard, and then all cards, both sides of the field, are sent to the graveyard. This gets past Stardust and Starlight Roll because it says send, not destroy. And depending on the number of cards sent from opponent's side of the field to the graveyard, you get that many Crystal Beasts back from the graveyard in your monster card zone. 3 Crystal Blessing, takes some from the graveyard and puts them in your back row. You need them 3 because you're playing Crystal Abundance and Rare Value, and it helps make Rainbow Ruins and Crystal Beacon live. 3 Rainbow Ruins, Ancient City Rainbow Ruins. This card, just search it on Wikia, but I'll explain why this is good. This is a field spell, so it goes and does not get clogged in your back row, so it's really great. You can special summon a Crystal Beast with 5, you can draw a card, you can negate cards, take half the battle damage, or it's not destroyed by card effect. That's going backwards with its effect, actually, I just said. So, but going with Kia, I'll give it a link or something, so. 1 Terraforming, search it out. Mystical Space Typhoon, do not run Giant Tornado or Heavy Storm. Do not run it. Serious. So, 1 Rainbow Gravity. This is a Rainbow Dragon in the trap form. Same requirement, only difference is that you can summon Rainbow Dark Dragon or Rainbow Dragon from your deck or graveyard, and you can ignore the summoning conditions. It says so. And Torrential Tribute, because you can abuse it really well. And don't play Deep Prisons. If you're going to play any monster removal, play Mirror Force. And if you cannot afford Thunder Kings, play these two in their place instead, just for you know. And they both help out the deck type originally itself. So that's pretty much it, guys, and peace out.